to get this, we're going to get the Public Works Committee going here.
I'm coming.
Okay. Are we ready? All right. This is the Public Works Committee, and tonight we're going to be hearing Resolution C-2015-21. It's going to be renaming Dorothy Beard Lane to Lakeview Boulevard. And I just want to give you a little brief rundown. I think this was done like in 2011 toward the end of the year. And I was asked by someone on that street to do this, and it kind of got pushed back because I asked him for a petition, never received it. So then as I was walking in the spring, I talked to another resident who told me the same story. They'd like to get it changed back, and they weren't giving any input on this and this, that, and the other. So I want you to know it's just I'm just trying to do what was asked of me from these residents, and I did get a petition, and everybody on that street signed it. That's every resident. So it's nothing to do with me. It came from them to me. I'm just trying to fulfill a request and a promise I made to the people that live there. So it's nothing to do with me. It's about them.
How many houses are on this street?
7.
7.
And everybody on that street signed it. And they have had some issues with ambulances trying to find the address because evidently it hasn't been changed. And Doc has tried to GPS it, couldn't bring it up. So there has been some issues. This is all coming from them, not from me. I just want to make that clear. But I'm just trying to fulfill a request by everyone on that street. So anyway, if anyone on council would like to.
I have a question. I had a couple phone calls today from the Beard family who had not been notified of this change. And it's just, to me, they should have been notified in order to come here and talk. I know we do have Mr. Beard here, but there was another woman from Kentucky that I think Doc actually spoke to as well. I just got a voicemail. So.
I went on MapQuest, and there is no Dorothy Beard in MapQuest. I know that's not end-all and be-all, but that's how I find the website that I go to. I emailed and texted the representative of the 6th Ward when this went through, and I got no response back. About 20 minutes before I got here, Shannon, I'm going to say this wrong, Thursby called me. She lives over in Kentucky. She had to go pick up her son at 5:30 after archery. And so she wanted to know, she claimed that the section of Lakeview that is designated Dorothy Beard has no houses on it. Please, this is what she's claiming.
That's my understanding also.
What?
There's no houses on this section.
Yeah. And she, again, said that she wanted to be here and talk about.
We can do that. What we'll do is we'll hear what everybody's got to say. We'll table it since there's only 5 here, and then the next meeting we'll bring it out of the committee and do the second and third reading if that works for everyone. I think we've got Terry Newton. Would you please like to speak?
My name is Terry Newton. I live at 2930 Lakeview Boulevard. At the time when they wanted to rename this, my neighbor had told me that there was a young lady that had went around and spoke or went door to door knocking to ask about naming this section of street to Dorothy Beard. God bless her, rest her soul. We've done a lot of business with her. She's a wonderful woman. But it's caused so much havoc with us as far as the elderly people that live on our street. This lady that went around and asked the neighbors about changing this, there was only 2 neighbors that responded to it. One didn't say that he would agree to it. He's a Vietnam vet. The other lady doesn't even have a residence on Lakeview Boulevard. She was elderly, being taken care of by her son, so she was living there. So she didn't really have a say-so in the matter at all, I mean, as far as being a property owner. But we've already got, leading up to our street, you've already got Wesselman that turns into Gulfmore. Now you got Dorothy Lane or Dorothy Beard Lane that turns into Lakeview. We have no crossroad for anybody to GPS for emergency vehicles to get to the elderly folks on our street, period. I don't know if this was taken into consideration at the time of changing this street name, but it may be something that all of us need to think about in the future, whenever we go to decide to change a street name, what's it going to affect? Who's it going to affect? So,
Let me ask you a question, sir.
yes, sir.
This Lakeview, and I apologize, I didn't have a chance to get out there and look at it. This Lakeview Avenue or street, the proximal section is the Dorothy Beard thing, and then Lakeview goes beyond it?
I've got a map right here where it comes off of Harmony Way. If I can approach and maybe show you
Sure.
this map.
Could you answer my
Because this
question?
is a
Hold on a second. Could you answer my question first?
Uh,
Lakeview, first it's Dorothy Beard, and then Lakeview?
And then it turns to Lakeview, yes. And then it goes down to Gulfmore, which is all another total story, because Gulfmore turns into Wessel to get back out to West Maryland.
Got it.
So we have no cross streets to name, and that's the very first thing they ask you whenever 911 calls you. What's the nearest cross street? We don't have one now because of this. So, like I said, Dorothy Lane, or Dorothy Beard Lane, needs to be changed. There are no houses on this lane, so why change it to Dorothy Lane Beard? It just doesn't make sense to us. We have problems with pizza deliveries. And today, my wife pulled it up, Lakeview Boulevard. Lakeview is actually two words. On the signs, it's one word. So, whenever you GPS this, even that, it comes up incorrect. And like you said yourself, I mean, you pulled it up. You only see one lane there. You don't see anything recognizing Dorothy Beard Lane. So I don't understand what the problem is with trying to get it changed back to what it originally was for emergency reasons and for our own protection. I mean, to me, it's a big safety thing right now.
Well, there must have been a good reason to change it to begin with.
Well, I mean,
It wasn't
like I
a lot.
say, Miss Beard was a wonderful woman. We done business with her. We took our clothes up there to her. She altered my wife's dress for her when we got married in our house. We've lived there 26 years, so we know her really well. And, no disrespect to her, none whatsoever. But if they want to remember her, put up a plaque somewhere or something, or a bronze statue or something. Don't change the lane and put everybody else's life in jeopardy, due to the fact that emergency response vehicles cannot find her. My neighbor, Jack Fulton, wife, is in really bad shape. She has diabetes. And she had a case here about 3 years ago where she fell alongside the bed and she was gasping for air and couldn't breathe. The emergency response vehicle took 30 minutes to get to his house when they sat right down at Thornton's there on Maryland and St. Joe. Now, that's only about a minute and a half drive from there to his house if he was given the right crossroads. But instead, he called back 30 minutes later, and you can probably pull it up on the 911 calls. He called them back 30 minutes later, find out where they were at, and they were out at Lakeview Drive because Lakeview Boulevard does not show up because of all this mass confusion. So anyway, that's where we're at. I've got a petition here signed by everybody. I went to everybody's doors on one signature on this petition that is not on here, and because of that person is affiliated with the city, he would not sign it just because of conflict of interest. But everybody that lives on that street or lives in any house on that street's name is on this petition. Now, where the thing is, I don't know where the paperwork is as far as when they wanted to change the name of it, if they had anything signed to give our consent or a signature to have it changed to this to begin with. But we're having lots of problems with it, and like you said, it's been going on for about 3 years, and it's time to rest it. So I appreciate you guys listening to me, and if you have any questions, I'll be more glad to try to answer what I can.
Well, I think it's one thing to change the name to honor someone, which I'm all for that. But when it puts people in, at risk, I mean, I don't see why that should be that way.
I don't either.
We got to
and,
deal with the living.
Well, my neighbor would be here today too if he hadn't fell and twisted his knee. He's about 76 years old.
Yeah.
He's a bit.
I know that area. I know it real well.
So
Yep.
he fell today, hurt himself. He didn't have to call 911, but still,
Right.
in the same sense, if he had it, he wouldn't have had a cross street.
Well, since I've been on here, we've been pretty adamant about name changes not affecting residents. I mean, that's been our number one priority every time, because every time we've changed one, it's either, you had one Connie and you had one member that was on that street, one resident, and they said they were good with it. We did Rick Davis Way. There was no changes. Mr. Weaver's done them over for Mattingly. Nobody was affected. So that's been kind of our mainstay, and that's what we use as our criteria, not, you know. Anyway, but.
Well, I mean, we're in a new world nowadays. I mean, everybody up there has probably got a phone where they tried to look up somewheres to get somewheres on vacation, what street they were on or something. So,
Right.
you know, it's just all about GPS and everything now, too, nowadays. I mean, it's state-of-the-art stuff. You GPS to go wherever you need to go.
Exactly.
And it doesn't show up, no crossroad shows up anymore, and that's an issue.
Does anybody on council have any more questions or any opinions? Is there anybody who wants to speak for or against this? All right. Gentleman in the front, and Ted, you can go. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Good evening. My name is Sheridan Beard, and I'm the son of Dorothy. One of the things I'm very upset about is I got an anonymous phone call at about 2:30, 2:45, telling me about this meeting tonight. And my main question is, why didn't you contact us, or why didn't the other people contact us to let us know that they wanted to do
Well,
this?
I didn't personally contact everyone on that street. What I did was I asked one of the residents if they'd get a petition together, and then I would use that as my basis to change. I'm not here to change it because I want it changed. It has nothing to do with me. Literally nothing to do with me.
Well, I can tell you
And
that
I'm not, I wouldn't, my whole issue was not to go door to door. I had 7 people, 7 families that signed a petition that want, you know, I mean, I'm
Well, I
not,
can tell you that Dorothy's grandchildren are the ones that started the petition and asked for the change. And they said that I talked to my niece, and she said the people that she wasn't able to talk to, she left a letter with her name and telephone number on it.
so you have a written petition is what you're telling me for the original change?
Yes. And
Okay, do you have
they
a
went
copy
through
of it?
B.J. Watts, who was our
Right.
representative that put it forward. She also worked with Pat Keats, the city engineer. I can tell you that Dorothy Beard Lane only runs 235 foot from Harmony Way back to the tennis courts, and is clearly marked Dorothy Beard Lane and Lakeview Boulevard. She told me also that when she looked it up on Google, it does show Gulfmore as a crossroad. And I can tell you that Channel 25 did an article on this, interviewed the mayor at the time, also interviewed us. And some of the information that they put out was that she had this business for 61 years on this corner, that she's the only Evansville businesswoman to ever have a street named after her. And and like they say, there are no houses, there are no addresses on Dorothy Beard Lane. And we would at least like the time to talk to the neighbors and find out.
That's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to listen to, and like I said, I have no dog in this fight. You know, I'm not here for any reason other than the fact that, you know, as I was going door to door, you know, and then they did what I asked them to. I really, you know, I'm just trying to do what I thought
This
the
still
majority
doesn't
of the people
explain why
wanted.
we weren't contacted.
Well, because I didn't go door to door asking everyone. I asked one individual to get a petition. I've got a copy of the petition. I
Well,
didn't
it just
do
seems
this
to
on
me
my own.
that if with any reasonable person would at least tried to contact the family in some
Okay,
manner.
all right. Okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to listen to everyone tonight, and then we're going to table it, and we'll vote on it next.
May I
because
ask?
we're-
I do
Yes,
have a
yes.
question. Is there some way that we can reach out to dispatch and maybe remedy this so that we're not having issues with paramedics and different things getting to this location? If we can reach out to Rodney Buchanan, you know, because we
Yeah, that's
probably are
fine.
going to.
I mean, and if
And I'll
you
be
want.
glad to reach out to Rodney to see if there's anything we can do to remedy the issues
Yeah,
there.
that's fine. And if you want to work with the residents, you guys want
Well,
to get together.
if you're
okay,
ordering
that
pizza,
works
then you
for
give
me.
them directions on how to get there.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
I mean,
You can't go reversing something like this.
yeah.
And
But,
it's only 230 feet. So are there any
235
houses on
foot.
this?
No.
no, I actually did drive it, went over and drove it and checked everything out.
I have some pictures on my cell phone if you want to see them.
I know the area. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not trying to do anything here, okay? I'm just telling you how this all came about. And, what we'll do is we'll listen to all sides, and we won't vote on this for 2 more weeks. That'll give you time. They've got my email address, and I can give you mine, and And I'm good with any of it. I mean, however you want to work this out, that's fine. And if we can work it out through dispatch, where it's not an issue, you know, I'm not here for, you know, to belittle your mother or anything. Absolutely not. I know the Beard family. I know the reputation. It's not that at all. It's not about against each other. I'm just telling you that they came to me, and I didn't go door to door with them. You know, I'm
Just
just
like I
telling
say,
you.
though, if I hadn't got this anonymous phone call, I wouldn't even know
No
about it.
one's trying to pull anything here, okay? I'm just trying
Would,
to do what I thought the
sir,
residents on that
Would
street
one
wanted me
week
to
be
do.
enough for you to sit down with these people and try to work something out, or do you
Yes,
need
sir.
1 week?
Yeah,
Because we're
that's-
meeting
1
in
week
1
will do
week,
it.
not 2 weeks.
Oh, we're meeting in
Is it
1
1 week? Okay, but anyway, that's fine. I mean, that's great. We're not going to vote on anything tonight.
Okay.
And that, whatever, if you can work this out, like I say, I don't have any ulterior motives or anything at all. I'm just telling you how this chain of events happened and
Okay.
how we got here. You know, I was trying to do what I thought 7 families wanted me to do on that street. You know, anyway, so that's fine. I'm not trying to be argumentative or anything. And,
Well, I need
And I'll
to-
be glad to reach out to Rodney Buchanan at dispatch to see what we could do to maybe remedy this as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Ted, you want to speak? Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, I just want to clarify one. I just want to clarify one thing. The
Name
Shannon,
and address, sir?
it's Ted Mellor, 831 Douglas Drive. I just want to clarify one thing. The Shannon Thurby that talked to you today, she is Shannon Beard, who is the granddaughter of Dorothy Beard. She's the one that went through the process of, getting this passed originally. And he did make the comment that the city engineer had started to work with Google when she did this to put it on Google Maps. And I talked to her this afternoon. She didn't know about it, and she just wanted the opportunity to speak to the council about it. That's on the comment.
All right, thank you.
I'll be glad to
Anyone
reach
else
out to the
for or
engineer as
against,
well.
or any other comments? Okay, Bernice.
Bernice Termenstein, 1636 East Blackford Avenue. When I always try to get the agenda for the next meeting, and when they talked about renaming Dorothy Beard Lane, I was curious. I'd never heard of it, and I looked in the phone book for street indexes and found this was an old phone book in 2009. There was no listing for Dorothy Beard Lane. Then I called River City Post Office and asked them, and they said they're not familiar with Dorothy Beard Lane. So it seems so very confusing to me. But I've gotten more insight as people have spoken.
All right, anybody else on council or anybody else out in the audience? Okay, what we're going to do, like I said, I'm going to hold this in committee, and then the next, let Mr. Beard and everyone, speak to each other. I mean, I didn't know.
Table
It's
for 1 week.
controversial, but that's okay.
What time you got
We'll work
for?
it out.
5:20?
5:20 will be fine. Yes.
Okay, 5:20
Okay,
week,
thanks
yeah.
everyone thank you, Mr. Beard and everyone.
Great.
All right. This committee's closed.
Well, okay,
November 16th.
Mr. 5:20 next Monday, okay? Got it. Connor Daniel is off tonight, so I'll handle the Finance Committee, and since Rick Riley's out tonight, I'll handle the other ASD committee, so what it's worth. The first one we're going to talk about is Resolution C 2015-19. Mr. Kennett.
Good evening. Chris Kennett, President of the Growth Alliance for Greater Evansville. Thank you again for your attention. Tonight, Josh is with me. Come on up, Josh. Come on down. You're the main attraction tonight. Josh couldn't make it the last time, but Josh would like to spend about 5 minutes talking about what he's wanting to do and what he's looking to do at the International Revolving Door, our IRD group. Go ahead, Josh.
First, Chris is the man. I'm so thankful we have him in Evansville. And thank you guys for all spending time and giving your time for the city of Evansville. My name is Josh Kratashville, and personal address or business address? Business, 2138 North 6th Avenue, Evansville, Indiana. Essentially, my dad and I are restoring a historic business in Evansville. They make revolving doors. It's International Revolving Door, and we stumbled upon this because my college advisor had actually recommended we go down and check it out because he knows that we were interested in finding businesses that were near shutting down or shut down recently and building them back up to what they should be, because a lot of businesses shut down when they really shouldn't shut down, and they really should produce. What we're doing, well, a little background of International Revolving Door. It's one of the oldest businesses in Evansville, and they make, obviously, revolving doors, and they have doors all over the world, South Korea, New York City, Chicago, all the major cities. And one of the things that drew us in was the customer said, you guys make the very best revolving door in the entire world, which is something I think Evansville should be proud of. And that's not coming from me, that's coming from the customers, is that this is the highest quality. And that's what really drew us into actually looking at the business and kept bringing us back. So it was, do we do it or do we not do it? It was really a tough one because the building is so in such a depressed neighborhood and in such bad shape. A lot of things when it came to doing the building were done wrong before that we've had to come through and fix so that we can actually manufacture in this facility. And we're not just doing revolving doors. We're doing fabrication. We have a very equipped machine shop, so we're going to be doing fabrication and machining as well as automation down the road and within 2 years. So it's really a lot going on, a lot of investment, a lot of things that I think are good for Evansville. It really continues a legacy, and before May I didn't even know there was a revolving door plant in Evansville. And then I got down there. It's amazing. You know, I've been down there late a lot of nights, and I was actually down there. It was probably about 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and I was just on the phone with my dad, because he always gets worried when I'm down there, making sure that, you know, it's not exactly in the best neighborhood. Stumbled upon a drawer that I hadn't even noticed before, and it has prints from 70 years ago, international steel prints from when they made balanced doors. I mean, there's more prints in our facility than I think there are in Evansville, in the entire city of Evansville. So and they're all hand-drawn. Not all of them are hand-drawn, but the old ones, they're from the late 1800s, and they're hand-drawn to scale, where they actually laid out the door on there and put it together based on the prints. So there's an incredible amount of history that is down there that we are really trying to save and to continue a legacy. So that hopefully gives a little bit of to approve a tax abatement. Tax phase-in.
Confirming hearing for IRD Group Incorporated. This is the confirming resolution for tax phase-in for the IRD Group. It has been properly advertised as in the 10-day requirement in the local paper. And at this point, unless there's further questions, we'd ask the council call for remonstrance to see if there are anyone out there that would like to speak for or against this particular application.
Any comments from city council on this particular issue? Any people anybody from the crowd that might come up and make any comment one way or the other?
Councilman?
I was just saying that I love your enthusiasm about the project, and it's so good to see a young person so excited about being an entrepreneur. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Any other comment? Okay, I'll entertain a motion and a second.
So moved. Second.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So be it.
Thank you.
We have one other order of business as the city clerk calls for the next order of business in the Finance Committee. 2015-20, I believe it is. Ordinance 2015-20. Ordinance 2015-20. Again, this is an ordinance that requires only your approval. We will be asking the bond bank for $25,000 to help him pay for training the employees that he's looking to bring. Didn't talk about it as much tonight as we did at the previous meeting, but there are a number of people that he will be bringing on board, tool and die makers, CNC operators, again, specialized training that people need, and as part of that, we go to the bond bank and ask for, in this case, $25,000 in order to help him pay for that training.
How many people?
Well, right now,
How many people are you going to be training?
Total.
well, there's 23 on our list that we had requested that we'll be training. Right now, well, I guess that's not really relevant how many we have right now. Currently in training, we have 2 people that are training on the CNC machine that we just purchased. We also have someone that's training on TIG welding, which is special. It's a specialty welding for very precision, it's very precise welding. And we're planning on bringing fully, well, I'm not finding the words to say. We're trying to get people into these machines to train them in the machine shop. As you guys may know, it's kind of hard to get people right now because there's a very low unemployment rate. So it's very competitive and it's very expensive to get people. The job market is not what it was 2 years ago at all. In fact, it's one of the worst times to start a business like this, to bring people in, because everyone has a job. And then it's the ones that don't have the specialized training. So we're having to bring in these people and then try and train them and it just takes time. And a lot of the people that are training are retired, and so.
I would stipulate these are performance-based. This isn't a gift. He has to provide us with information that says that he's hired and trained so many people from the city of Evansville in order to qualify.
Okay, any comments from city council? Any comments for or against in the crowd tonight? I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So be it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Resolution C, 2015-18. Could you join us?
Good evening. Kelly Courts, Metropolitan Development. You want to see one of the oldest revolving doors in the city, the Court Street entrance at the old courthouse. That revolving door was built by his company in 1913. So you can see that still in operation. So tonight you have the...
Consolidation. That's a nice consolidation.
Oh, well, thank you. The 2016 annual action plan is the second year of our 2015 to 2019 consolidated plan. Basically, council approved the 2016 allocations for home, CDBG, and ESG. On our action plan, we simply tell HUD what we plan to do and how many people we plan to serve with those dollars. So that's what your action plan is that you're approving tonight.
So you've assigned the money to certain areas.
Council did.
Yeah.
That's every year.
You have assigned certain amount of money and you're going to put it into action.
Right. Well, the action plan, we tell HUD how many people each agency should be able to serve in the next year. And then our caper in March, we tell them how many were actually served.
Any questions, any comments?
You got it on a CD, since we're trying to save paper and printing costs.
Any comments from our visiting group here tonight?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So be it.
Thank you.
So thus closes the finance committee. All right, I'll open up the ASD committee. We're going to hear ordinance 2015-22. I got an email from the county commissioners asking that we table this until March 16th. Not sure what's so special about that particular date, but
They just want sufficient time to consider the ordinance.
yeah.
I don't think there's anything special about the date.
Okay. Anybody want to make any comments about that? I talked to John Prim tonight, yesterday, and he said that he was okay, it was okay with him. Therefore, if it's all right with you, I'll make the motion to table it. Is that okay? Okay. Okay, that closes the ASC. All right, here we go. Honorable Council of the City of Evansville is hereby called to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman McGinn?
Here.
Councilwoman Mosby?
Here.
Councilwoman Brinker-Riley? Councilwoman Robinson?
Here.
Councilman Friends? Councilman Lindsay?
Here.
Councilman O'Daniel? Councilman Weaver?
Here.
Councilman Adams?
I'm here also. There being, I believe, 6 members present, 3 members absent, 6 members representing a quorum. I hereby declare the session of the Common Council officially opened, this being the 21st meeting of the year. I think we have a representative of Scout Troop here to do our allegiance. Am I correct in that? Would you come up, sir? Bring your guys up here. Don't be shy. Mr. Danks won't bite you. Come on up, please. Great, perfect, thank you. Thank you. Would you tell us which troop you are? And yeah.
We represent Troop 397 out of St. Philip.
Thank you. Thanks so much for coming. It's very kind of you. Do we have any other students here tonight? Would you please stand up? I saw a whole bunch of students in the back. Stand up, please. Great. If you have any that you want us to sign after the meeting, would you please come up and we'll be glad to sign that for you? Okay. Thank you so much for coming. We also have a couple of teen advisory committee.
I'm from Mater Day.
Your name?
Oh, Raylan Grossman.
And what class are you?
I'm a freshman.
And what are you going to be doing when you're 35 years old?
Still a lot of age. She wants to be really good at what she does.
Okay. I'm joined by Kristen. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me, sir. Go ahead.
I'm Jed Maharis, and I am a junior at Memorial.
And your interest?
I'm not decided yet.
Okay, great. Yeah. Next to me is a marvelous person. His name is Kristen with a K, Lockyer. If that sounds familiar to you, it is. He is a sophomore at SIG School, and he had an interesting injury with his right leg at his fibula, and that made him really want to think about going into orthopedic surgery. Is that right? Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us. Great. Okay. Scott Danks is our city council. Which one? Did I miss somebody? Oh, okay. Scott Danks is our attorney tonight. Officer Nutt. Thank you so much for being here, sir. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the October 26, 2015 meeting of the Common Council as written? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Nay? None. So ordered.
Reports and communications. In your November 5th packet, City Council meeting agenda and committee meeting schedule for November 9th, 2015. Ordinance F 2015-22. September 2015 financial report. 2016 annual action draft plan. Evansville Redevelopment Commission meeting minutes from October 6, 2015. Legal Aid Society September 2015 fund reports. Emailed material, City Council meeting minutes for October 26, 2015. On your desk this evening, extended agenda and 2016 budget book revisions.
Is there a motion to receive, file, and make these reports and communications part of the minutes? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So be it.
Consent agenda, first reading of ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance F 2015-22, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Evansville authorizing transfers of appropriations, additional appropriations, and repeal and reappropriations of funds for various city funds. Ordinance R 2015-27, an ordinance to rezone certain real estate in the City of Evansville, State of Indiana, more commonly known as 2013 to 2023 West Franklin Street, petitioner Michael W. Brown.
Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda as written? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? So be it.
Consent agenda, second reading of ordinances and resolutions. Resolution C, 2015-18, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Evansville ratifying the 2016 Consolidated Housing and Community Development Annual Action Plan. Resolution C, 2015-19, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Evansville confirming the declaration of an economic revitalization area for property tax phase-in for the rehabilitation of real property and installation of new equipment, 2138 North 6th Street, Evansville, Indiana, 47710. Resolution C, 2015-20, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Evansville in support of economic development incentives offered to IRD Group Incorporated by the City of Evansville for the rehabilitation of real property and installation of new equipment in the facility at 2138 North 6th Street, Evansville, Indiana, 47710.
Committee report, ASD Committee Ordinance G 2015-22 has been tabled until next year. Finance Committee, the resolutions C 2015-18, 2015-19, C 2015-20 all come forward with a due pass. Public Works Committee,
Yes, the ordinance G-2015-21, we've tabled it to the next meeting.
is there a motion to adopt the committee reports and move the ordinance and the resolutions for a third reading? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? So passed. We skip that page.
Resolution C, 2015-18, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Evansville ratifying the 2016 Consolidated Housing and Community Development Annual Action Plan.
Is there a motion to adopt resolution C 2015-18? We have a motion. Yeah, great, okay. A roll call, please.
Councilman McGinn.
Aye.
Councilwoman Mosby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Robinson.
Aye.
Councilman Lindsay.
Aye.
Councilman Weaver.
Aye.
Councilman Adams.
I vote aye. There being 6 ayes and 0 nays. Resolution C 2015-18 is hereby declared adopted.
Resolution C, 2015-19, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Evansville confirming the declaration of an economic revitalization area for property tax phase-in for the rehabilitation of real property and installation of new equipment, 2138 North 6th Street, Evansville, Indiana, 47710, IRD Group Incorporated.
Is there a motion to adopt Resolution C 2015-19? We have a motion and a second. Please give us the roll call.
Councilman McGinn.
Aye.
Councilwoman Mosby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Brinkroff. Councilwoman Robinson. Councilman Lindsay.
Aye.
Councilman Weaver.
Aye.
Councilman Adams.
I vote aye. There being 6 ayes and 0 nays. Resolution C 2015-19 is hereby declared adopted.
Resolution C, 2015-20, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Evansville, Indiana, in support of economic development incentives offered to IRD Group Incorporated by the City of Evansville for the rehabilitation in real property and installation of new equipment in the facility at 2138 North 6th Street, Evansville, Indiana, 47710.
Is there a motion to adopt Resolution C 2015-20? We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilman McGinn.
Aye.
Councilwoman Mosby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Robinson.
Aye.
Councilman Lindsay.
Aye.
Councilman Weaver.
Aye.
Councilman Adams.
I vote aye. There being 6 ayes and 0 nays, Resolution C 2015-20 is hereby declared adopted. Skip the next page. Miscellaneous business. The next meeting of the Common Council will be Monday, a week from now, November 16th, on 2015. I believe at 5:30. Committee meetings will be starting a little bit earlier.
5:20.
5:20? Okay. Is there any miscellaneous business that anyone would like to discuss at this juncture? Please, come up.
Good evening, council and everybody.
Your name, please, and address.
Connie Whitman, 1780 South Norman.
Thank you.
I'm sorry to boil a multifaceted issue down to a few sound bites, but I have a little complaint. Anyway, I read in the Courier and Press that Councilman Weaver thinks the voters are tired of the council bickering. I also read Councilman Mosby thinks it's embarrassing. And, sorry, Councilman McGinn, but I read that you think the voters want the council to act like grown-ups.
I didn't state that.
Well, you didn't say.
That was a quotation by
Oh, okay, you were misquoted.
person
Okay,
in a
thank
newspaper.
you.
So if you're going to quote me, please quote me accurately. I
Okay,
never
well, I
said
read it
this.
in the paper. Okay, I read it in the paper. I'm sorry. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that, because I don't agree with those statements. You're not speaking for me if you believe that. And unless you're having closed meetings, how could you possibly be in agreement before the meeting start?
I got 11,000 votes.
I would think that open, honest debate is your job. That's what we come here for. We want to hear. I don't even know what these ordinances are about. I want to hear more. But I think the election results have cast a pall over this town. There were 19-some thousand votes. 19,000 votes, and almost a third of them were for somebody who wasn't even, huh?
If I may, if you could keep your comments germane to the business before the council. The election is over. The council has no control over the election results.
Okay. Okay. Well, I was just going to say that that's embarrassing, that almost a third of the votes were for someone who wasn't on the ballot.
Again, an issue before the council.
Okay. Okay. Well, I just wanted to say that people aren't leaving because there's nothing to do downtown and because they're embarrassed by council debate. They're leaving because of the perception of toadyism, cronyism, graft, and fraud. And that's what I hear when I talk to people, that Evansville has a reputation for that. And that's just what people are saying. So I just wanted to say I hope you keep a line on the budget and keep talking about it and keep informing us. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Would anyone else like to speak at this juncture? Okay, committee reports, ASD. I'm sorry, excuse me. I apologize, excuse me.
I just wanted to congratulate Mater Day and Wright's bands. They went to state this past weekend.
Great.
And I'm just very proud of what they did and what they accomplished.
How'd they do?
I believe what Mater Day was at 7th and
8th.
8th.
Uh-huh.
And then Wright's was 7th. Okay, I got it confused, sorry. But yeah, they did great. They both went to state and very proud of what they accomplished.
Okay, any other comments anybody would like to make about anything at this juncture? Okay, committee reports. There is nothing scheduled for ASD next week. Finance Committee, there will be Ordinance F 2015-22, authorizing transfers and appropriations, additional appropriations, various city funds. Public Works Committee.
Yes, we've postponed C-2015-21. That'll be heard at 5:20 next Monday. Thank you.
Terrific. I'll entertain a motion for adjourn. All those in favor? Aye.